Welcome to this live session, and welcome if you are catching the recording where we are working with the pathways of expression. So, before we get into the energy of this, I do want to invite, if you're here with me live, if you've got a specific question or something that you want to bring to the surface in this area, definitely add that to the chat. If you're watching the recording, and you have a further question on this, feel free to comment below this video, and I will see what I can do. All right, so when we're looking at the pathways of expression, the way the guides are bringing it in today is we're really looking at this flow of energy that is connecting us above with our soul self and out into our expression in the world. And these pathways of expression are not just limited to, that connection above through our crown chakra, our third eye that we might visualize, and then out through our throat. It's connected into our whole energy system, both those chakras that are within our body, those seven chakras that we're all pretty familiar with, but also the transpersonal chakras above and below. So what the guides are really bringing through, and we're going to be working with the energy on this and clearing some energy. Today is a beautiful day for clearing energy. And again, if you're listening to the recording and you're noticing my voice is a little weird, my own throat chakra is going through a big upgrade right now. So I'm really feeling the timeliness of this. So the guides really want to get that visual in of what this energy flow looks like so that as we're tapping into the energy and we're clearing out this space today, you can understand and really feel the full expansion of what your soul expression energy feels and looks like. So we're going to visualize, sense, or imagine. Now, this is just before we get into the journey. This is just to get a bit of a picture in your mind. The way the guides are bringing it through is actually starting in the heart chakra, starting with the intention. So our intention is generally for what is highest and best, right? And the more we can leave that intention pretty open, pretty well just whatever is highest and best, whatever my soul self desires to flow through, the easier it's going to be. And then from there, we can kind of bring in specific areas that we want to focus on or bring energy or information in on. So everything begins in the heart chakra as we set our intention. So that's our very first space. Now, next up, whenever we are working with expression energy, there's a receiving and a giving. So it's both of those flowing together. It's the masculine and the feminine working together. And I've been seeing this a lot lately. Very much my guides have been bringing this through, and I've been seeing evidence of this in my reality as well, where we're really moving into a time of union, a time of balance with the masculine and feminine. And as they're bringing through this information, again, it's very much the same thing. So we are receiving and we are giving. Now, different people will benefit most from doing this in their own unique way. So what I mean by that is some of us are energetically designed to simply just be this receiving the information from our soul, receiving this information of expression that wants to come out. Kind of like it's very defined what we want to receive. Others of us, it might feel a little bit more open, right? And this actually really reminds me of like human design and the way that some people, I think it's called authority. I don't know enough about human design to really be talking about it, but they are meant to respond to energies more so. Serena says yes. All right. Okay. So you know what I'm talking about. So it's that same thing. So some of us will be like, okay, what is my next creative idea? Or what does my soul want to express? And then we might get crickets or might just get, flimsy almost information and energy where it doesn't feel quite right. And so one thing to consider there is instead kind of like shifting your question a little bit and considering what area, what focus you're looking at. So say if you're looking at relationships, you want to first call up the energy of that relationship and then become aware of that and then allow yourself to respond to that instead of just searching for the information. The same thing would go with business. or anything like that. So you pull up the energy of what you are exploring first, and then you can respond in that way. Okay, so that's kind of there for your consideration. Wonderful. So again, we are beginning in the heart space, right? In the heart space is where we are setting our intention first and foremost of our connection with soul, of our connection to these expression energies. All right. And I think we're going to flow in and out of me talking about it and us kind of working with the energy as well. And then I feel like we're going to go into a bit of a deeper journey. And if you're just joining us live here, feel free to add any questions into the chat box as well. So, so again, let's actually just let's begin this right now. So let's begin tapping into our heart space for a moment. Beautiful. And as with basically any energy things that I teach, anything that I teach, our connection above, below, and within the heart space is always our foundational base. So we're going to create that same foundational base here. So setting that intention in the heart chakra for a deeper connection, communication, and expression of soul. And we don't have to get specific here. We're leaving it open for whatever is highest and best for our good and for the good of all. Really, really good. So we're breathing and are opening our heart chakra. We are creating that magnet first and foremost. So with our intention, we create this magnetic energy that will bring about the information pieces that will be best to flow to us, that will most support us. So it's like we're clarifying this space. We're letting go during this first kind of stabilizing process of connecting above, below, and through the heart chakra. We are clearing the static. All right. So again, in our heart space, setting our intention to connect to our soul self, our soul expression, clarity of this communication channel. Really, really good. Really good. Now we're going to visualize, sense, or imagine the way the guides are bringing it in today. And you can kind of slow this down to your own pace if you'd like. The way the guides are bringing it in today, though, is expanding both above and below simultaneously. So visualizing, sensing, or imagining, or just using your intention and your breath and stretching your energy, sensing or imagining that pillar of light, your midline, that energetic center that connects you above into source light and below into the center of the earth. So this is what we are focusing on right now. So we are establishing that energetic connection above and below. Really good. So you may find that you're drawn to focus on the earth more so, focus on grounding your energy and just notice maybe you have some sensations in your feet or you feel drawn to the earth. So maybe the earth is what you want to first really establish and anchor into and really allow those feet chakras, the root chakra, and then those transpersonal chakras that are outside of your physical body, but still in your energy body. So that as you're moving down, we're moving into the Earth Star chakra below your feet. We're moving into the Gaia Gateway. These names don't matter. It's just really so you can get a visual in your mind, has something to grab onto. Really good. So we're opening and establishing that deeper connection with the earth. That connection of stability is very, very key for expression. So again, whenever we are considering soul expression and when we are considering really expressing our most powerful, authentic self, most often we would think, all right, okay, so I've got, it's going to be around the throat chakra, maybe around the solar plexus for my power. But again, it's the whole energy body. And that stabilization is really, really key. So we're going to, again, just set the intention, stabilizing that energy, anchoring that energy, connecting all the way to the center of the earth. Really, really good. Really good. So we're just practicing with this, and then we're going to go into a deeper journey to clear some energy of this pathway. All right, so we're still just allowing that expansion into the earth, allowing that expansion into the earth. So the guides are bringing through a little bit more information here and something they want to share. And what's interesting is, again, often we think that our expression would flow in through our throat or our third eye or our crown, those centers that we most think of as connected to our intuition, connected to our soul self. The guides are reminding us here that information is everywhere, that our light codes and the information we're here to share, the information we're here to share with ourselves and with the world is also all around us. It's programmed into the waters of the earth. And this is what they're really sharing right here, is that as we are moving down into the earth and stabilizing this connection, we are also inviting in the information and the light codes from the water in the earth, from this like really sacred waters of the earth that were programmed in previous times of ascension. So if you can even just, you know, imagine this earth history where there was this golden age, where there was this real divinity of humanity, where humanity and our divinity was connected. So you can see this in the future, in the past, or however you want to see it. Time is that big ball there where everything's going on at once. But whenever we're looking at that, our future self or our past self helped to program these sacred waters of the earth so that that information is in there. And that information also resonates with the water in our body. So as we're connecting into the earth, we're also connecting into those deep resources of water information that's down in there as well. And it's been said, I've heard different experts say things before, like the Akashic records are actually, stored in water, or lots of things like that. Water is an absolutely magical resource when you start to understand how it can be programmed. And minerals play a really key role in this too. So this is something I had no idea I was going to be talking about today. But when we're looking at the programs of water, the way I see it and the way the guides are really showing it is that water is almost like the conductor. So water is how the information travels from the divine into our humanity, into our consciousness. And the minerals are what holds that information. So that we're setting that program in the water, we're setting that connection to the water, but we are also it's like stored in the crystals of the mineral. So it's the same way that we would like program a crystal for a specific intention, or crystals holding information. And then it's the same deal with the minerals that are in the water. So those really deep water minerals, those really deep waters, those sacred waters that we are connecting to as we connect deeply into the earth, hold all of these really beautiful minerals, all of this really pure energetic frequency. So that was kind of a long story just to say that when you are connecting into your expression energy, listen to your intuition. If your intuition is focused more so on anchoring into the earth, focused on the energy of water, focused on something that doesn't make a lot of logical sense for expression energy, go with it. There's more to be explored. There's more to be opened up. And whenever you have the desire to express from that soul level, you're also being guided to really open up these new pathways that unlock energies for yourself and for others as well. Okay, so we're gonna go back to that flow a little bit. So again, we start in the heart space. We set that intention for a deeper connection and expression of our soul self, of our light codes, of what we are here to express. And we allow our heart chakras to be filled up. So in this space, we can just start to bring in some emerald light. We can start to fill this up with some emerald light. Really, really good. And then we expand that connection. We expand that connection below into the earth, and really just noticing, feeling, sensing, or imagining additional information being gathered. Just because we are gathering and absorbing information doesn't mean that our human consciousness is aware of it right away. Often we're gathering information and we're gathering these energies, but our mind needs a little while to catch up. So we're not rushing anything. We're allowing those to flow in. Really good. And then we are expanding that connection above as well. And for this, we are just simply visualizing, sensing, or imagining this channel of light that is connecting us. And this channel of light really extends from our heart space. Well, it extends the whole thing above and below, but really what we're looking at is the heart space up through the throat, up through the head chakras, above through those transpersonal chakras that connect us into our soul self, connect us all the way into source light. So before we're even beginning this channeling and working with soul and this expression out of this deep energetic stability and connection is key. We fill ourselves up. We're not trying to rush the process. When we think about going in for a specific outcome, so going in, I need to be productive with this channeling session or this connection to soul and this expression. When we go in with that intention almost of and it's just born of like the society we live in. It's born of that patriarchal structure of needing to be in control and needing to be productive. When we go in with that intention, we can easily shrink down that playful, expressive soul part of ourselves. So that's another thing the guides are really bringing in here, and why it's key in that heart chakra to start with such an open intention, because that allows more of your playful energy to be connected into this expression. And that's really what you want. And you may have some mental programming that, playfulness is not going to be beneficial here because it needs to be productive and I need to be in control. So that's, again, just something to be aware of. So again, we are connecting into the heart chakra, we are connecting above, we are connecting below. So that's our first established connection. As we are connecting in that way, from there, then we can allow that channel of receptivity to open up all around us. And then from there, as that opens up, then we're able to express in that way. So that's really what that expression channel looks like, is it's the connection above and below, and then the outward expression. Okay, so we're going to work with this energy now. We're going to go into a bit of a journey around it and clear some energy around it and see what else really wants to flow to the surface. Okay, so I'm going to pop some music on just as we're going about this. And if you're not already in a place where it's safe to run energy, so like don't listen to this when you're driving or something like that, save it for later. Just make sure you are in a place where it's safe to run energy, where you can feel grounded and connected to the earth, where you can feel stabilized and supported. All right, so let's begin this. Beautiful. All right. And now I am second guessing myself, so I'm going to reshare that because I can't remember if I shared the sound or not. I did. Okay. Oh, and I'm just going to check out this question from Serena here as well. I'm meant to bring in a high level info and translate it into grounded info, and I don't feel I'm doing that effectively. Thank you. Okay, wonderful. I'm adding that intention in and we'll explore. Beautiful. I love that intention. All right. Yeah, I had shared the music. Okay. So just before we get started, though, I'm going to take a quick sip of water. Awesome. Okay. So this is our guided energy journey to connect into our expression energy, connect into our own unique ray of the divine. And we are also setting the intention and setting the command in our energy field to clarify this pathway of expression. clarify this pathway of expression for our highest and best good, and for any specific intention that you may hold around this as well. Beautiful. We're going to begin to anchor into the heart space. Visualizing, sensing, or imagining a green and blue light swirling around in your heart space. Now we are also calling in support from guides, support from our ancestral energies that are in alignment with this. Really good. So that ancestral energy is really coming to the forefront here. So you can close your eyes if they're not already closed. And just be sure that your feet are connected to the earth, or you're feeling grounded in some way. And by connected to the earth, I just mean the floor. Really, really good. And we're just breathing in this space. Again, visualizing, sensing, or imagining this swirling blue and green light. And we are going to hold this visual of the earth in our heart space. And we're also layering on the energy of our ancestral energy. So what is connected into our DNA? What is connected into that subconscious that is our physical body? We're just surrounding that with unconditional love and gratitude. And we're doing that by holding this visual of the earth in our mind's eye and holding that in our heart chakra. And if you're not one who visualizes really effectively, then just continue breathing. It's working with your breath and your intention. So don't feel the need to see, feel anything specific in this space. Really, really good. Now we're still going to keep working with that energy. Now we are going to just simply release that vision, release that earth that we are holding in our heart space. And we're going to expand out that spiraling blue and green energy. We're going to spiral it up, again, through that midline, through that column of light that connects us into source. And we're going to spiral it down into the earth. So visualizing, sensing, or imagining that this pillar of light that is you, this pillar of light that connects into source, that connects down into the earth, is being saturated and filled with this swirling blue and green light. Really, really good. We're just going to breathe with that for a moment. And you may feel, see, sense, or imagine guides surrounding you, ancestral energies surrounding you. There's quite a bit of ancestral healing that's actually ready to flow through here to help release energies that are stuck or stagnant on that subconscious level within the physical body. So we're keeping our focus and attention on that swirling green and blue light, filling up our midline. So we're going to visualize, sense, or imagine that this midline, this pillar of light, is expanding. So maybe it's expanding around 6 feet in all directions all around you. So you're expanding your energy field. Really, really good. Really good. So first we are looking at this flow of energy. So we're going to look at this flow of energy that connects you from your source, your soul self or higher self, into your human consciousness. So we're going to visualize, sense, or imagine, what does that look like? You may see it as a tube. You may get a sense of it. Maybe you can kind of hear if it feels and sounds really harmonic, or if it feels and sounds like there's distortion in it. So we're just going to bring awareness to this first. So this first pathway of expression is that pathway between source, your soul self, and your human consciousness. And we're just noticing it. And we're going to set the intention to bring a clarifying golden energy into this space. You may notice a specific guide coming in with this, or you may not. We're going to visualize, sense, or imagine that golden energy is filling up this space. And we're going to sense or imagine any wounded selves, any old belief systems, anything that's being held onto in this space, that it is not safe, that it is not okay, it is not good to connect directly to source, to connect directly to soul. We're just bringing in some forgiveness and love energy. I forgive it. I forgive it all. I forgive myself. I release and let this go. And just visualize, sense, or imagine any shadowy aspects, any wounded selves being sent into that source light, being sent into that golden light. And as those aspects of self are sent into that golden light, that energy is being transmuted from your system. And as you breathe in, you're breathing in more of your soul self, more of your natural power, more of your empowerment. So again, we're really focused on that space between your heart chakra and your higher self. We're bringing in golden light. We are noticing, sensing, or imagining any wounded aspects of self. This could show up as an ancestral energy, could show up as a belief or an inner child that you get a sense of. And we're bringing in forgiveness and love into this space. And we are freeing that energy. We are releasing that energy. This is wounding and karmic energy that we no longer need to carry forward, that we are now able to easily release and let go of. Really, really good. Really good. And again, sending gratitude, love, and forgiveness to any aspects of self that have shown up in that space. And now we're going to fill up that space with new life. We're going to fill up that space with, you may visualize, sense, or imagine flowers blooming, plants growing, whatever an abundant expansion of life looks like and feels like to you. We're filling up that energetic space. There's some really beautiful divine feminine energy in this space. There's some really beautiful creative energy filling up this space. And we are just reminding our own energy field and our own subconscious of the abundance of life, of the abundance of growth, that expression of the divine that is nature, and that expression of the divine that is us. So you may visualize, sense, or imagine now any wounded aspects of self that you had noticed in this space are just becoming beautiful. They are shining. They are vibrant. You are reconnecting into your natural connection to soul, your natural connection to your higher self and source that connects directly into your heart space. Really, really good. Really good. So now the next space we're actually going to move into is the hips. So this might seem, again, a little counterintuitive and seems unlogical, but this is the next flow of energy. So we're going to take our focus and attention into the chakras that we have in our hips. And these energy centers hold on to a lot of doubt, and especially doubt around forward movement, which we are doing whenever we're when we're expressing from soul. So we're going to visualize, sense, or imagine. You may want to put your hands on your hips there as well if that feels right. We're going to visualize, sense, or imagine again that swirling blue and green light. We are bringing that into the hip chakras. We're bringing in that natural abundance energy of the earth, that natural abundance of expression that is the earth, that is nature. And we are just reminding our subconscious that's held in the hip chakras, our natural state is an abundance of expression. Our natural state is an abundance of connection to soul and to source. So again, we're soothing in this space, so much in that same way that we brought in that golden light and called forward any wounded aspects of self that are ready to come to the forefront for healing, any ancestral energies that are ready to come to the forefront for healing. Beautiful. Just noticing if anything feels disharmonious in this space, or feels or looks stagnant or off. We're going to bring in that love and that forgiveness. I forgive it. I forgive it all. I forgive myself. I release and let this go. Just letting any attachments, any cords to doubts around your direct connection to soul, source, to be dissolved in that golden light. Again, that abundant creativity energy is flowing into this space. Really, really good. And now what the guides are reminding us of in this space is also that our hips surround our womb chakra, surround that other point of connection to soul, to source, to creativity and expression. So as we bring this balancing energy into the hip chakras, we are also supporting our creative expression that flows through the womb chakra. Whether you're male or female, that womb chakra of creation is there. Really good. Really good. So again, in those hip chakras, noticing, sensing, or imagining any wounded aspects of self, sending them love, acknowledging them. Really good. Really good. And saturating them in that golden source light, sending any of that old karmic energy that's ready to resolve back to source, and allowing those hip chakras to again fill up with the abundance of nature. Fill up with that flower energy, that plant energy, that natural abundance that is the earth, and that natural abundance that is us, as we are in our physical bodies, a representation of the earth. Really good, really good. So now you may, if you kind of zoom out from your energy a little bit, you may notice that that flow, that connection between your heart space and your soul self is just filling up with beautiful abundance energy. And that connection, that flow into your hip chakras, again, filling up with that beautiful abundance energy. Really, really good. Now we are going to work on kind of the upper back where the shoulder blades are. So again, a lot of pressure can be held in this area and the areas surrounding it. So we are calling forward once again that golden light. Any aspects of self, any ancestral, subconscious, or inner child aspects of self held in the shoulder blades, held in that area of the body, that area of the energy body that requires attention, acknowledgement, unconditional love, and forgiveness, to be saturated in that golden light. letting go of that pressure, letting it melt away. Really, really good. And just as you're breathing, noticing any tension you're holding in your back. And just as you exhale, see if you can let that go. See if you can let yourself relax a little bit deeper. And we're letting that golden energy go right into the cells of the body, releasing that subconscious programming on a deep cellular level. Really, really good. And again, we're going to fill up that space with the abundance of nature, filling up those shoulder blades, that upper back, with abundant flowers, abundant nature. Maybe you see it as that swirling blue and green energy. There we go. Really, really good. We're just going to come back to our heart chakra for a moment. Just let all of that settle for just a moment. Breathing into the heart space, visualizing, sensing, or imagining your energy field now, filling up with that swirling blue and green light, saturated in gold. Really good. Breathing with that for a moment. Really good. So we're going to now move this down, taking our focus from around the heart chakra, root chakra, down through the earth, into the center of the earth. So this stabilizing connection that really allows us to take on the information and energy that we receive, take it on as a part of who we are, recognize ourselves in it, and recognize our divine birthright to express it, our divine birthright to be it, to embody it. So now we are really focused on that root chakra and really focused below that into the earth star chakra. So any aspects of self that do not feel safe, any aspects of self that are wounded, any inner child aspects or any ancestral aspects that are holding on in this space, that are creating resistance to establishing a really deep root and anchor, we are giving them acknowledgement. We are giving them unconditional love and forgiveness. I forgive it. I forgive it all. I forgive myself. I forgive even that which must be unforgivable. So we're really bringing in that forgiveness energy. We are cutting those attachments and we are freeing those aspects of self. Really good. Just working with your breath, freeing those aspects of self. And you may sense or imagine a gray energy or something kind of like smoke, like going back into source light, being transmuted back into your natural state of empowerment and safety. Really good. Beautiful. Beautiful. We are calling in our divine feminine in this space. We are calling in our divine feminine guides. We're calling in this ruby red frequency to fill up any spaces around our root, any spaces in our anchor and our support that need that nourishment, feeling fully supported and fully connected. Really good. And any aspects of self that you notice in this space, you can also wrap them up in a blanket of red and golden light. Visualize, sense, or imagine that you are also just wrapping yourself right now up in this blanket of red and golden light. Really good. Expanding your connection to safety and security as your natural state. going to keep breathing with that for a moment. It is safe for me to connect with soul. It is safe for me to connect with source. And it is safe for me to express my soul self to myself. And it is safe for me to express my soul self into the world. I amplify my sense of safety and security now. And you may feel, see, sense, or imagine even more connecting energetic cords connecting you into the earth. And again, connecting you into the abundance of the earth, that abundance of expression that is so natural within the earth and that is so natural within us that we easily forget how unlimited and abundant we truly are. Really good. So again, we're going to bring in, visualize, sense, or imagine the abundance of the earth filling up this space. The abundance of the earth filling up. Again, you may see it as flowers or plants. That abundance really filling up. So now we're going to visualize, sense, or imagine, kind of zoom out and see our whole energy field just being saturated with gold, knowing that it is natural. It is our divine birthright to work with these pathways of expression, to know and embody who we are on a soul level, and to express that beauty into the world. Really good. We're going to breathe with that for a moment. Just reminding yourself it is safe, it is natural. I am anchored. Really good. So we're going to take this focus and attention now back into the heart space, into your intention. And again, feel which way feels more aligned to you. Feel if you are just simply asking soul to receive information, or if you're observing something and you are responding to that. So if you are observing, for example, your business energy, your soul client energy, or a relationship, and responding to what you notice. So we are opening up this pathway of expression now for you to ask a question. And again, there's no pressure. You're just observing and receiving this gift from soul. And I'll stay quiet for about a minute or so and just allow you to notice, again, what flows through for you. Beautiful. So you may want to come back to this space to pause the recording if you're listening to that and give yourself a little bit more time and space. But for just right now, we are just going to visualize, sense, or imagine that this energetic pathway of expression is being filled with a golden source light. that we are reminding ourselves again, I am exactly who I need to be. I am exactly where I need to be. And it is safe to connect and express from that soul level. Sensing or imagining this pathway filled with that golden light. Really, really good. And then whenever you feel ready, we're going to send gratitude to all of the guides, all of these aspects of self that have shown up today. Sending gratitude to yourself, to the earth, to your soul self, and to source. And knowing that this pathway of expression is your birthright, and it is safe to tap into it and trust in it without needing to control. Really good. We're going to visualize, sense, or imagine now taking your energy field back down to its regular size, sensing or imagining that pillar of light, that midline coming back within your body, and visualizing, sensing, or imagining anchoring all of this energy, all of this healing into your heart space and down through the layers of the earth into the center of the earth, and then pulling that earth energy back up into your physical body, into your heart space, and just breathing in connection with soul, with source, with your humanity, and with the earth. Really good. And then whenever you feel ready, we're just going to wiggle our fingers and toes, open your eyes, and come all the way back and just kind of take a moment. All right, so we're just starting to come back from that a little bit. Excuse me. So now anyone who is here with me live, if you have a specific question that you want to type in the chat box, now would be the time for that. Otherwise, we're like, I'm still rocking back and forth because the energy is still settling. Otherwise, we are still just allowing that energetic transformation, that energetic transmutation that you opened up to really settle, and then really taking notice of what is flowing through to you, and knowing that it's not simply when you are focused on that channeling connection that this abundant information flows through, that your soul self flows through. It's in the little things. It's in, what's surrounding you. It's in noticing whenever you're feeling a little nudge of something and tuning into it, or when you're noticing that high pitched sound in your ear and just kind of taking a moment and being like, what's flowing through here? And even if you're not 100% sure, you haven't formulated into something conscious, you're sending gratitude for it, and that just helps it to grow and expand. Gratitude grows and expand your expression and your channel, and doubts and fears, pressure and control shrink it. So it's always opening. Awesome. Christine says that was beautiful, felt very powerful. Thank you. I agree. It was a really beautiful energy that flowed through. There was a lot of really different and unique things. So I think everybody who attends or listens to the recording is going to get something a little bit different from it. All right, so I'm just going to give it a few more moments and see if there's anything else. I know it takes a minute to come back. Michelle says, it was amazing, Tracy, as usual. Thank you. My total pleasure. I love that. This is a really beautiful energy for me to bring through. And it's funny because for a few days now, my throat chakra's been off. I've been coughing a lot. But then as I'm channeling energy, throat chakra's fine. There's no physical symptoms. And as soon as that channeling kind of stops, their journey stopped, I could feel like the coughing come back. So it's just so funny how the physical body responds to that energy. Beautiful. Awesome. All right. So I'm going to leave it at that for today. Oh, Serena, sorry. It was lovely. Felt energy in my throat as I usually do, wondering if there is something to clear. Most likely, let me take a quick look at that actually before I wrap up. Thank you, Oren. My pleasure. Okay, so let's take a look at that for Serena. What are we looking at? What's Serena looking at in there? They're bringing in like a storyline for you in there, Serena. An old storyline kind of around self-punishment, an old storyline around self-punishment of expression of truth, around self-punishment of a desire to be of service to humanity even. So they're really showing it as a storyline. So what would be the highest and best way for Serena to work through this? What would be the highest and best way for this to process out? So they're really just bringing in acknowledging and understanding wounded aspects of self. So I would recommend focusing on the throat chakra, going, just into a gentle, having some meditation music on, focusing on that space and setting the intention to call forward the story. They're really using the word story a lot in the information they're sharing through. Share the story that is being told in your subconscious and pull through the wounded self that is telling that story to your subconscious and bring in that acknowledgement, that healing, and that forgiveness to that aspect and that storyline and free and forgive that. So that's what they're really bringing in as kind of an additional practice. And anybody that resonates with that, that would be a beautiful practice as well. And I just want to see if there's anything else in there. So what we want to do in that space, in the throat space here, is almost like my storyline of expression is clear. So what they're showing is like if you can visualize, sense, or imagine like a timeline, like this your story of expression of if it's safe to express what happens when you express this whole story of expression being a timeline, and we are saturating that in gold, and we are bringing healing. We are bringing acknowledgement and forgiveness to any wounded aspects of self that are still running that story and really bringing that golden energy into the whole storyline of expression and not really needing to know every single detail and all of that, but really just setting that intention that your story of expression is connected to the divine. Your story of expression is filled with golden energy. So that's really the energy that they're bringing through around that. Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you. Okay, so thank you all for joining me live today, and thank you for checking out the recording. It was just a joy to bring this one through. Serena says immensely grateful for you and your guys. My total pleasure on this. Thank you so much. So make sure to get good and grounded and hydrated after all of that energy. Have a great day.